perfect timing. Yes. Hi, everybody. We're so excited. We are celebrating Halloween. We're kicking it off in our celebration, as you can see us. That's, oh, look, the Crystal Connection Wellness Center. And I am Kat Kim from Kat Kim Collective. And I am with my friend Laurelle. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I am so excited to spend this time with you because I heard about your book. I heard about who you are. I read about you. And I'm telling you, fascinating woman. Here she is. Connecting with Crystals is her book. And it's really successful. You're
Thank you.
super
Oh,
successful.
well, thank you.
Well, we like to celebrate. We like to
Yes.
celebrate, and you've just been really successful. And can you tell us? I want to get to know you a little bit more. I was very fortunate that I was able to have a private conversation with you to connect with this energy, and you already were really inspiring to me because, as my practice, I am an energy therapist as well, but I'm an emotional healer. So it's like very separate from a lot of things. So I only use a specific crystal, and I'm very intuitive with it. And I kept saying, I'm still like intermediate, and I'm with professionals. Like here I am working with Travis at Crystal Connection. And then I meet you, who's like, you definitely are a master and an expert. It's incredible what the information you packed in this book, right? She's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to kind of get to know, like, how did you get into this? How were you like, okay, the alchemy of nature and crystals is like my calling. So can you share a little bit about that? How you got started?
Sure. Like most people, when I was young, I would pick up rocks and put them in my pocket. And even when I was still getting older, I would pick up rocks from wherever I went and put in my pocket as a way to connect with the trip and where I was, right? And then when I was in the 7th grade, the only week in science class that I ever appreciated was the week that I showed up and there were crystals all along.
The best.
Yeah, and I was like, what are these? I was so mesmerized. But, life went on. I actually was a actor, singer, dancer, performer.
Yes, you were.
Professionally
I
for
saw
years.
that.
Yeah.
Is it true you were on David Letterman? Or
Yes, yeah.
Can you please share it? Because now I'm going to touch you. I'm sorry. 6 degrees of separation of David Letterman. He's like one of my favorites. How can I ask what that? I don't want me to veer off. But
no,
can you tell me
yeah.
about that experience?
Yeah, I was I was dancing with little Stevie Van Zandt as a 1960s style garage.
You're so cool.
Garage girl at go-go. So we were doing,
Yeah.
60s with the fishnets and the high boots and the
Right.
short skirts and the wigs and yeah.
Yeah.
It was the end of it was basically the last thing I did in my performing career, but it was so much fun and it was like a dream come true because I always just wanted to dance with bands because I'm it was
So
I
much
know that's
fun.
an odd little thing
Not
to
at
want.
all odd. Not here. There's
But
nothing odd here. This is
I was
amazing.
doing mainly musical theater with some plays, but getting to dance on stage with bands, that was so much fun for me, and it was a nice goodbye to the performing career before I fully dived headlong into crystals. And I mean, I was already working with energy
Right.
and sound.
Dance is expressive.
Dance
and
is
your
expressive.
body, and yeah, there's so much to it.
Yeah, but I was always studying spirituality and energy. I was sort of doing energy healing intuitively, and because I was singing and working with music and dance, I was also studying sound healing through all of that. But then I found the crystals, and I was like, shift time. So I shifted.
You were like, that's it. It was like
Headlong into the
magnets.
crystals.
It's magnets.
And so the thing that actually really got me started more than the peripheral with the crystals was I went to the New Life Expo in New York City, and I had been at least 10 times previous. But I was sort of like, I know I'm supposed to shift into something new, and
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what it is. So I just asked the fair to help show me. And I was walking along with a friend, not really called to much of anything. And then we got to a crystal table. And I was like, could you hold on a moment? And I looked at every single stone as if I was learning a new personality. Oh, I'm getting verklempt.
Well, this is your awakening.
Yeah.
That was your awakening moment.
Yeah.
That awakening moment is something we're going to try. I don't want to interrupt that because
Yeah.
I would like to share that one of the conversations I wanted to veer up is like your connection to the alchemy of nature is it's all about being intuitive. If you are a novice at this genre of healing, that it's your intuition that's going to guide you where you're supposed to go. So that's what I'm hearing
Yeah.
happen. So you were
Yeah.
at this fair, you see this table of crystals, and you were like,
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, so
You said, I know you.
Yeah, I like was saying hello to like 30 different stones on the table, and then I popped up and I walked along with my friend further, and I was like, okay, and we walked along until we hit the next crystal table, and I was like, can you hold on again?
Let's go meet.
Mid conversation, he was like, okay, sure, and I did the same thing, and by the end of the fair, I had devoured like 7 or 8 crystal tables just with my eyes, obviously, but just really taking in all their energy. And I was like, I think maybe there's something here. And I just happened to come across people who were teaching the beginning steps of working with stones and crystals at the time, and I never looked back. I started working with gem and mineral dealers,
Okay.
and I know a lot about the physical properties of stones and which stones are which. I'm really good with identification.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people who work with the stones, they don't have that background. But I, in my Virgo way,
We were
sort
just
of
talking about that. My fire and her Virgo, her whimsical and my fire. We're just bouncing off the walls today.
I had to be like, okay, let me learn. I wanted one of each. I wanted one of every one. And so I sort of collected one of every kind, and I just learned voraciously about all of them. And the outcome was me working with crystals more than this energy and the sound and other modalities I'd already been doing and working with. The crystals just sort of took over.
It's her calling.
And everything else, I mean, I still love sound and energy, and I do other things like new thought patterning and different. It's all about health and wellness and empowerment.
Oh, I love that.
Every modality I work with is for health, wellness, and empowerment.
I'm just going to say yes to that.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes to that because
Yes.
that's the same focus that my work is. You know, working in the emotional component, I have mental health background, and then I've always had a gift, and just kind of came together. And I just using the tools around you. You don't necessarily, and this is where you helped me in our conversation. I always felt like, well, I can't really say that I know. I know I can recognize crystals. I know I can tell you which ones would work best. But I didn't realize that being intuitive is just as well. You don't have to know everything. Just you have to trust the pull to it.
Yep.
And so I just want to say thank you that. So I have a question. Can I ask it? So I am addicted to malachite.
Yeah.
Can you say I wear malachite? I have green malachite. Can you tell me a little bit about malachite?
Yeah.
And why you think I would be? Like I'm like wearing green. I always have malachite everywhere.
Well, malachite is a copper mineral, and copper minerals always help us with inflammation.
Oh, okay.
And also, if we had any place in our life where we didn't have someone showing up, it's around abandonment stuff.
Okay.
So if we had a parent who wasn't fully present with us, or if we actually had, if we were adopted,
Okay.
or or a parent who leaves, divorces, goes away, then the copper is really healing for that feeling of loss.
That's interesting.
Now that's just the copper. Malachite itself is really great at marrying the heart and the will. And so it's a green stone, and so everyone thinks automatically, oh, well, it's a heart chakra stone.
Right.
But it is really powerful at working with both the heart and the solar plexus, and it's helping to bridge the lower.
You're getting me verklempt. You're getting me verklempt. Look how because keep going. Go ahead.
Helping to marry the lower chakras with the upper chakras, which is the physical with the spiritual and mental.
Right, and that
yeah.
is my drive. That is my purpose, and what I'm learning in the human walk, in the life form, is connecting, because I hide behind spirit.
Yeah.
Because I'm so spiritual, and being on Earth can be very challenging.
be, yeah.
For some of us who understand, like when you have when you're too much up here in your divine chakras, it's really hard to
You
grasp.
can't manifest.
You can't. But yet things happen. I have unwavering faith, which has gotten me through, and so it makes sense with this why I'm so attracted to it, and that's the point we're making. Is that I saw malachite, I just love it. I knew it does bring in things for me. I always feel very comforted with it. I know when you talked about abandonment, my mom was there, but there's some emotional abandonment. That's why I'm an emotional healer.
Yeah.
It's always why you overcompensate
Yeah.
when you don't have. So that just makes so much sense. And that balance of I always have stomach issues, and I'm just finally healing through it through alternative things that we've talked about. And I just feel like that's the power of using the tools that the earth has given us and understanding them to get to think outside the box to get you to the next level. And your information in this book is exactly what you need if you are looking to begin or to understand. Laurelle is a phenomenal resource in just reading some of those things. So I wanted
I'm
to
also a phenomenal unicorn
and
today.
I am Madam Mim. I'm Madam Mim today, and Travis is Merlin. And we're
Yeah.
gonna duel
Oh,
later.
the
and
beard.
the beard, and I didn't put the wig on because I can't concentrate when my crown is. If I cover my crown, I can't concentrate. I don't know if anybody's like that. I'm like, oh, I need my crown open.
It's funny because some religions
And
and
Kundalini,
spiritual
right?
practices,
They wanna
they
run-
cover the crown to consolidate the energy.
And then just to go this way, I'm
but
like,
you're like, no, I need it open.
I need
and
it open.
I get that too.
You
I
understand
I
what I'm
do.
saying?
Although this is really helping
That's
me to
postal.
access.
We have to kick off
like
with
a little
celebration and fun.
antenna.
I don't take myself seriously. We do magic. Between her and I, we're very magical people, and I think it's really great not to take ourselves too seriously.
It is. It's important.
We are gifted, and we don't have to prove too much. We say it all right here.
Wait, there's one more thing
Yes.
about malachite
Oh.
that I wanted to tell you.
I can't wait to hear.
Anytime a crystal has patterns on it, so if you can hold this up
Yeah,
to the
sure.
camera maybe a little bit.
Yeah, there we go.
Anytime a crystal has patterns on it, it's about repatterning something.
We're also on Instagram Live. So
Yes, where it's about repatterning something in our own lives. And so this is repatterning our heart and will connection.
Yeah.
And will is so important for manifesting anything, for one, but even for healing. If we don't have the will to heal, then we won't
talked
be
about
able
that.
to. So
Yes.
I mean, there's a threefold thing there, but malachite's really great at repatterning our relationship with ourselves and our own personal power,
love it.
and helping us to let go of the less positive patterns that we find in our
I
lives.
love it. I've been breaking ancestral patterns, family patterns. That's my job. I'm working really hard in this life. Breaking patterns, helping others break patterns. It is very right on.
Yeah.
This is, and what's great is you do crystal readings too.
Yes.
Crystal readings. So if you are, we're live on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle?
The Fairy Den.
At the Fairy Den. If you go on the Fairy Den, I'm going to put this up on YouTube, so
Okay.
then hopefully they can check this out. You can come down because you're going to be here all day today, right?
All day
then
today and tomorrow.
And tomorrow doing book signings. I got my book signed. I'm so privileged. I feel so great. So can I ask you some more questions?
course,
Because I'm
please.
having a blast
Yes,
with you.
yes, let's do it.
I wrote this down. We worked with 250 different crystals for this book. If you could select just one to help heal the planet's current collective energy, what would you choose? I think that's kind of like a fun question. I know. If you don't want to answer, it's okay, because there's so many choices. But that's what I was like thinking. If you could just choose one.
There are a lot of choices, and I don't mean to sound redundant to what everyone else might say.
No.
But the stone that came into my heart was rose quartz.
Because
And-
we need love.
I know.
We-
Well, and so many people talk about rose quartz as finding love, but it's finding love within yourself.
Say it again.
It's self-love,
Self-love,
self-healing,
self-healing,
self-care.
self-care.
And rose quartz is also releasing fears that we don't even realize are there, just letting those fears
Yes.
gently fall away. So rose quartz to me really is about learning to love yourself, and when we learn to love ourselves, then it's easier to love other people.
You couldn't say that more clear, and I agree with that. I think a conversation I was just having this morning was about compassion. You know, you can have all the knowledge in the world. You can have all the knowledge in the world. You can read every single book and know every galactic, every quantum physics thing. But if you're not acting in the wisdom of spirit, you're not spiritual. This is just my take on it. And I think that the grace that you're giving of compassion and saying, you can understand these things and you can learn these things. And I think that rose quartz represents going back to our purpose, to love and be loved.
Yeah.
I think we miss out on a lot because we get so distracted. We do have so much fear, you know, and that's a shame because you're driven by two things, love or fear. And a lot of people have anxiety, you know, and the depression, and anxiety is about the future. And trusting that this moment right now is our future.
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
And so I love that you said the rose quartz because I do feel we need to talk about love more.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Of course, each person is going to be drawn to a different stone, but if it's an overall thing for the whole planet,
Yeah.
rose quartz. But there are people out there that need to really repattern their relationship with their heart and their inner child. And so I would say rhodochrosite for that. Or people who need to sort of flush away, get rid of what's been coming through more recently, then I would say one of the pink calcites for that. or connecting with divine love, morganite. So there's so many different stones that each person could be called to
Yeah.
individually to work through all
Yeah.
of this. But overall, overarching, it's rose quartz.
I love it. I love it. I love your answers. I love your
Aw, thank
your
you.
energy, and I'm just having such a good time.
Thank
People
you.
often talk about programming a crystal.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about that? What does that
Sure.
mean for people who are novices? And when they're saying you have to clean your crystals, and
Right.
we don't want to ruin our crystals, and put it in the moon, put it in the sun, salt and water. What is
There's-
your take on this?
Yeah, there's a lot of ideas out there, and there's some confusion around it as well. Programming crystals came from actually a computer programmer, Marcel Vogel, who realized that quartz, being a pure silicate, quartz both, and here I happen
Yeah,
to have
I
a
was
quartz
like-
with.
I
I
was
was like, why is this
first
the
of
stone I
all-
chose? Now I know.
We are in a magic world, and she was just like, "Oh, did you need this?" It was like, "Ta-da!" She was like, "Ta-da!"
It just came
It
out
just
of my,
came out.
my
Oh.
hat, my side pocket.
Your unicorn magic, I love
Right?
it.
And it's kind of a unicorn horn.
It is.
This one's very, very clear. But what Marcel Vogel noticed was that because quartz is a pure silicate, it both gives and receives energy, so it can hold what he called, as a computer program, a program, right?
Oh.
So that's why the idea of programming crystals came into being. I don't love that terminology just because, to me, crystals are conscious beings. And he knew this as well. And he didn't mean it this way at all. But to me, they're conscious beings. And I don't program my friends. So I'm not going to program my crystals.
Well, yours is awfully thoughtful. You're like, do.
Because they will hold and repeat the pattern of whatever you ask them to hold for you. So I just make the request. And clear
That's
quartz
so
will
wise.
hold and repeat that pattern until you sort of work through that one thing that you're trying to figure out. And then you just cleanse it with light or selenite. Those are my
Selenites.
favorites, light and
Yeah.
selenite. You cleanse it, and then you ask it to hold a new intention. So to me, these are the best intention holding stones out there. They also, by the way, I recently found out from a friend who was like, I finally found that program from 1974 that said that quartz vibrates at 783 million cycles per second. I believe that's
I don't know
cycles
what
per
that.
second.
That's smart. I don't know.
It basically comes out to 7.83 megahertz, which
Okay,
is
okay.
what the Schumann resonance is.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
I
like,
understand.
which came first? Was it the crystal that created the resonance, or the So I'm
Yeah,
working
well-
through that stuff right now. But
What?
this will
Love it.
this vibrates at a higher frequency than anything on Earth, quicker than thought. And so it all sort of connects. Like, the more you learn about it, the more
It's
it makes
fascinating.
sense.
It's going to take me a minute. I am a smart lady. I'm just like, okay, but I understand that. But the way you're explaining it is like, it's easy to kind of understand. This is in your book. Did you explain programming in your book?
I did, actually.
Okay.
I talk about the difference between programming and intention setting in the
I
book.
love that.
I don't talk about 783 million cycles.
She does not. She just did here on Crystal
is just
Connection
for you
YouTube
guys.
channel and live.
First time live saying that.
We're gonna say hi to everybody.
Hi.
We're absolutely having a great time here at Crystal Connection at the Halloweekend, and we're really kicking off this time with some really wonderful conversations. And this is so wonderful. So, in your experience as a vibrational healing therapist, how does the unique frequency of a crystal with the human body and body's field? So, like, how do you, as an energy therapist, like when you're with somebody, how do you intuitively know? Like, it's hard to answer that question because you just intuitively know. But I like to talk about how we would know what crystal to use, because it goes into the chakra, like a simple one-on-one with chakras, right? And so, how do you?
The crystals
Connect.
communicate with me.
Yeah.
When I first started working with the stones, that sounded insane. That crystals would communicate with you. But
I believe that. I know that.
As
Yeah.
soon as I started doing crystal healing therapies, not just meditating with them or working with them, almost the first time I did a crystal healing therapy, someone was talking to me about what their intention was for the healing session.
Yeah.
And crystals started like particular crystals, not just some random like carnelian. No,
Right.
a crystal I had in my drawer popped into my head.
Right.
And I was like, oh, huh, I I guess that means I'm supposed to work with that.
Right.
So as they're talking, I'm going over and starting to pull crystals because certain crystals are just coming in.
Right.
And so how I basically work with the stones is I start just by doing some energy balancing and cleansing usually. And then I go and I just see which stones call my attention most.
Okay.
Which is also very helpful for people who are like, which crystal do I pick when I go to a crystal shop?
I was going to ask that question. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Let's talk about that.
you stand there and you just look and feel out the crystals and just see, well, which ones are calling my attention most. Now, some people come into my little shop in Midtown Manhattan and they're like, but all of them are calling to me. And I'm like,
I
well,
want them
put
all.
the ones that are like calling you the hardest into this little tray and then we'll talk about it. Because at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is which one or two or three or however many you want to do at the time, which ones can you not leave without?
Yes.
That's
That's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, because you're like, but I like them all. Yes, but which one would you be sad if you didn't take home with you?
There is
That's
that feeling.
the way
I
to,
can.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yes.
Everything you're saying is spot on because I'm like we were just talking about the malachite. When I don't wear my ring, I had this made for me, right? And because I was so called, I have so much.
Beautiful piece.
That she did a phenomenal
Yeah.
job. Like in my office, I have a lot of velvet malachite, and I have a lot of. I'm
Yes.
just so attracted to this.
Yes.
And I give out crystals. You know how you have that? Like you accumulate crystals, and you're like, you need this one. I think you need this one. The malachite, I can't separate. I would
Yeah.
feel sad if
Yeah.
that got lost. If I couldn't find my ring. If I couldn't. So
Well,
I understand
and
that
there are
feeling.
stones for us. You know, it's funny. I because I'm also a teacher and I want everyone to feel the energy of the stones themselves. I would pass all the crystals around from my healing drawer when teaching a class or whatever, and just so everybody could feel it. But there were certain stones that every time I would go to pass it around, I was like, oh, don't hurt the precious. Like, you know,
Like,
it's just
not
like,
that one.
I was like,
Slap it.
oh my
No,
gosh.
you can't have
and I
that
would
one.
see people not handling it properly, and I was like, no. And I was like, why are these selenite wands? They're instead of the satin spar, which
Yeah.
has all the which are more white, these are more clear with little florets on the top.
They're
And I was
so
like,
pretty.
why am I like this? And I realized finally, oh, these are for me and no one else. These are
Yeah.
my pieces
Yes.
to work with. And so those do exist. But overall, for me at least, it's easy to share the stones with others and yeah.
You are a
have them
very nice
experience
person,
it.
and you do share. She will share with you. She was just sharing, but I understand that pull to
Yeah.
things that are, that you hold dear. I have also a very interesting question that just came into my head. What is your take on andaras? Andaras are like soda glass. Is that what they call it? Soda. It's like glass, and then they find them under fat. There's some that are vibrational. I did acquire like an emerald-looking one that I find, and the only reason why I was so attracted to it because it was so green, and it's also my energy. It's like it just holds energy. I'm not. So what is your? Because it's a whole controversial thing
Yeah,
about
it's
andaras.
very controversial.
So I love this conversation because I'm like, I'm not either way, but
Well, this is what I would say. If they speak to you and they call to you and you feel something when you work with them, that's all that matters.
it makes me cry.
That's all that matters.
Listen, wisdom.
It doesn't because even if they are making them
Right.
and then infusing them with energies, if that energy speaks to you,
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. And even things like opalite, which is
Right. I was going to ask about that because that's
it's
a
human
man-made.
created.
Right.
Yeah, I say
right.
human created.
Yeah, I say human created. Right. And
Sometimes women
and
do it.
and bismuth. Is it
Bismuth.
Bismuth? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Bismuth is like for creative and things like that. What do you
Yes,
use it for?
to me, bismuth it comes in these beautiful
Like rainbows.
geometric.
It's like
it
looks like the. I'm so glad. I love how we're explaining. We're doing pantomime. Pantomime and crystal. Can you guess the crystal?
They're like pyramidic shapes, but they're fractal and
They're
and
rainbowy.
skeletal, and they're completely rainbow, and they're actually grown from tiny bits of bismuth. Bismuth, in my understanding, is bismuth only grows in tiny bits on other rocks, and so they wanted scientists wanted to see what it would be like if the bismuth got bigger. And that's what happened. And so it became a craze among the regular rock collectors,
Right.
because they're growing their own crystals, and that's what's happening. And so when you think about everything metaphysical or anything beyond the physical is always based in the physical properties and the creation thereof. So it was some science guys who were super excited about finding a tiny little crystal and trying to see if they could help it to grow. So it's about, bismuth is great for helping humans go from where they are to the next level, to the next place. And in those beautiful rainbow colors, anytime there's a rainbow in a stone or a stone that's got that rainbow essence to it, like
Yeah.
titanium quartz also creates
Yep,
that rainbow
okay.
essence, it's always going to be about balancing the chakras, because you're working with all the colors of
Yep.
the chakras, and bringing in joy and working with the rainbow body as well. And so titanium quartz does it differently, because titanium, what we know about titanium is, what do you know about
Oh.
titanium?
It's metal. It's can't break it.
Very strong
Very strong.
and very light.
Oh, it is very light.
So there's a lightness to the titanium energy. There's a strength that's about really empowering. And because it's an aura quartz, which is metals placed over the top of a quartz, the quartz magnifies the metals that are used. But because it's over it, it's sort of, aura quartzes are like working with our own aura. So it's
Okay.
especially about working with the rainbow body, or
Okay.
the aura, the energy field around the body,
Awesome.
and strengthening that field as well.
We could do this all day.
Yes, we could.
Right. We could do this all day.
Whereas like
Oh
the
my
bismuth
gosh,
is
I
more
love
like
it.
going up anyway.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
But going back to the Andara crystals,
Yes, thank you.
and the opalite, so it goes back to that idea of why is it created? Like what was the intention behind the creation of it?
Right.
And even if it's human created or human adjusted, it's still going to have that intention behind it, and that it's going to work with that intention and the physical properties of this piece as well.
Okay.
So, for instance, opalite is actually made from a hydrous quartz, which is what opals are made from. But it doesn't have the wisdom of the earth within it. But it's
Okay.
a great stone to help you step from where you were to the next level of going deeper into nature.
I
So
love this. Oh
that's-
my gosh.
Sorry to be a little bit of an
No.
encyclopedia rather
No.
than short answers, but
No.
that's
No,
how I
this
am.
was so helpful, and anybody who's watching is going to learn something from you and from this information. I want to thank you,
Oh,
Laurelle,
thank
for
you.
joining us.
It's so lovely
It
to-
was
to be with you in person.
my honor. It's my honor. You're so wonderful. I love how gentle, compassionate you are, even like as experienced as I am, and me asking questions, you were just so open to it, and I want to thank you for that. Laurelle is a very real, wonderful worker. I hope everybody goes and checks out her store. Where's your store?
It's on
What's your-
55th between 8th and 9th in Midtown Manhattan.
Midtown
but
Man-
it's by appointment, because I do healing therapies and consultations as well as the shop.
So look it up. We'll put your
So
website
it's private
on the-
shopping. Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
We did this. And then this is her book, Connecting with Crystals. You have 250 crystals of resources and plus and some of the things. I hope, I don't know if you've already done this, make an oracle deck. I know everybody's doing it, but I'm telling you, the way you present information and allow everyone to understand from novice to expert, I think you would be phenomenal, and I would be the first one to buy it.
Thank you.
I really mean that.
Thank you.
And I know there's a lot of people
Well,
who
if
do
Llewellyn is listening,
I highly
or any other amazing publishing.
yes. I'm going to talk to Louise Hay.
Okay.
Louise Hay Publishing. So thank you again,
Louise.
Louise Hay. Yes. Thank you everybody so much. Live in the moment. Think positive, and we will see you soon.